Alright, the day has come to mount these things right here. But they need to be 1.5 inches, so I went around and I made this template for it. But I got to thinking, why do that? And this thing right here is already 1.5 inches. So, stick a 2x4 down there. I got a template made. I just measured off the back, figure out where I want it. That was pretty damn simple. 1.5 inches. Inch and a half. That's 1.5 inches. Same with the other side. So we got a nice even box thing going on. This is 1.5 inches. So we're dead center of this whole center right here. So when I get done, I'm going to put a piece of this right here across here, so that it makes like a little square. Ooh, that might be a problem. Let me see something here. This hole goes right through there. That'd be right about there. I don't know what the fuck to do about that. So maybe I'll cut the end of this out. Maybe a big circle or something. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. Time to lay that damn thing out. I just don't remember that being like that, because this was welded before like that. Here's the old ones. There's a bolt missing here, but that's not the same bolt. Here's the old plate. I see where it was mounted. That hole is still there, so I'll figure it out. This is the old stuff that I cut out. That's weird. These are the old pieces that were in there. I wonder if they, no, because they all have bolts in them. Alright, I'm missing one. Let me see if I can find that one. Alright, let's make our first hole. I talk a lot of shit about these things, so I went ahead and bought one. Fixed to find out what it does. One thing I hate about it the most is this sumbitch is heavy as hell. And it's not easy to position when you're doing the side and the side angle like this. But we got it. Got a little strap. Moved it around a little bit. So let's try it out and see what happens. Shit, that wasn't too bad. That's a nice little hole right there. Alright, let's do the rest. I wasn't too bad. But what I didn't account for was the height. Look at that. It works. Only thing I got to do here is grind out that weld right there. So this thing has something to sit on. It's kicking it a little bit. But that's perfect. It works great. Look at that. Sweet. We'll do the other side. Let's get her done, boys. Yep, there it is. More nice clean holes. I've been wanting to get one of these drills for a long time. Only thing I don't like about it is heavy as hell. But I guess there's sacrifices. I bought all that kit right there. I got about $459 or something like that wrapped up in that. I had to bite the bullet and make it happen because I got other jobs I can be using it for. Let's see what we got here. Looking good. Actually fits too good. Try and put shit together with one hand. Anyways, you got the picture. I'm gonna put the nuts on here, snug them up, and weld them in place like I did the last one. Kind of just putting it back together the same way it was, adding a couple of stiffeners. I didn't show you these were mounted, but I had them mounted. and the nuts on. So I'm just gonna finish putting maybe a little more weld on them. I don't know if they really need it, but yeah, I'm gonna put a little more on it. Anyways, I went ahead and I made these. I said I was gonna do box this in right here so that it'll have good strength here. This didn't have none of this in here. There was nothing in here. This stiffener wasn't in here. None of this shit was in here. It was just on a regular piece of plate metal, and there was nothing there. So that was the brake right back there. You can see that weld right there. This is all one sheet. So we just, all this was able to flex. It had flexibility, and especially when you got these kind of things right here, that's going to do some stress on them. So I feel like after putting that in there, I'm just going to box frame all this in, tighten that up, made it a little more stronger. Shouldn't have any issues with it, hopefully, but you know how people are. This will be the end of this part here, and then we can come back here and finish this up, and then we can close it together. And I'm gonna weld them pieces in, sandblast the tail end of this thing right real quick, put some paint on it, and then get it ready to go in there. I'll get back with you in a second. Alright, let's do a quick recap. Holes drilled. All the nuts are welded on. Put that stiffener in, like I said. Now we got this whole thing boxed in. Things welded up. Nuts are welded in. Now we're just going to blast it from here to there, because we're never going to see it again. And then just a quick recap. See this piece right here? There's a set of wheels that go on there. That's this right here. They just bolt on. I gotta drill these pins out, put some grease pins in them. And then we'll be putting that on once we get it in the trailer. Get it stuck together. I'll be back in a second. I don't look too bad. I mean, I could sit there and beat on it if I wanted to. But from that to that, be clean. The top a little bit. Still got that over there. See the difference from that and this? And I got this little edge I cleaned off a little. I'm not trying to take it shiny metal, just trying to get it clean. Fixing to do this part right here, right now. Get ready. You can see what it's doing. There's the piece I just did. Past that, let's see. Not trying to take all the paint off. I don't need to. I'm just getting this surface rust. This shit right here. See, I blasted over here. See that? I'm just basically trying to get all that surface rust off. See, I blasted from here over to here. So all that's gone. You don't want to take all this primer off of here. Just use it for part of the base. So we'll blast all that, get all that brown off. We're not going to try to take it to the metal like this. It's just too much, and the machine's not that nice. All we want to do is make a good bond for the primer to get. And we got all that scale rust off of this here. So that's all gone. Alright. Alright, we're just doing to the yellow. Let's see what we can come up with. Bare metal right there. See the difference? My little knob was stuck a little bit, but that's all I'm trying to do, from this, from that to this. Just make it smooth. Don't look too bad. I'm fixing to do this side right here now. I've already done some of this right here. See that little line? A little bit here. A couple little pieces. This one, top flange. And we're done. Alright, all the blasting's done. Nice and clean. That's just a primer, boys. Got all the nasty off of it. It's nice and smooth. I can smell the primer. Alright. See what we got. Alright, we're down to the nitty gritty here. Let's throw some paint on it, see what happens. That's how I do it, Ro. I go in the light, follow the wires out, mark them, put the codes on them, and boom, it's all done. Nope.